Hello, everybody. It is Sunday night, and we are here once again for another session of Like Clockwork. Um, as you can see, we do not have Alex here tonight because somebody just randomly from the ether gave Alex Lizzo tickets that are tonight. And so she gets to go and see Lizzo. The rest of us will play Dungeons and Dragons. Before we get started, real quick, we're running a little behind, so we'll go around a little bit quickly tonight. We'll start with Sin. How's it going? What's going on with you?
Good. Just playing on Thursday still as a possum artificer who now gets to incorporate really cool mechanics because I just watched Cyberpunk. But other than that, nothing much.
That's what's up. Hey, Dungeon Master, I just watched Cyberpunk stuff. I'm going to incorporate this into my fantasy possum character. Yes, yeah. You should do that. I love it. Joey.
Hi, by any chance, can I incorporate some cyberpunk stuff into my character?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Nothing else to report.
Back like to your character, basically. So,
are you already cyberpunk, generally speaking?
Yeah. Let's go on then to Elizabeth's next.
Hi. There's not really same old. I play D&D on every other Monday on ESP D&D, and I'm here every Sunday hanging out with you guys.
Nice. Moving up to John.
Hi. I spent 3 days yelling at people that wanted t-shirts, so I don't have a lot of energy at the moment. Post-con brain fog is real. So all of our normal streams are happening, and if you like the children's fantasy movie Return to Oz, I talked about it for like an hour and a half on my podcast, Everything is Gay and the Straight Stuff. Super cool movie. We're doing some Halloween stuff. It's super awesome. Just like being in this game that I get to stab people at, which is super awesome.
So what I remember about Return to Oz was that it was terrifying.
You remember that correctly, but it is a different sort of terrifying from The Never-Ending Story, which is a movie that I cannot watch. But I love Return to Oz.
I was not terrified by Never-Ending Story as a child. I was traumatized by the Artax scene in the swamp, but not terrified. Next is Perunia, who, as we can see, is not here because she's at the Lizzo concert. Sarah, bring us home.
Yeah, don't forget that you can interact with the chat, or interact with the game. So by typing in, I'm losing track of which show I'm in. So donating channel points, bits, or subscribes impacts the game with auto hits, nat 20s, or inspiration, and helps support us here at Realm Alternus. So appreciate it, and check out our Patreon too. Patreon.com/Realm Alternus. We have lots of bonus content, including I just posted I didn't post it. Elizabeth posted it for me. Our first sample audiobook chapter from Dark Resonance by Phaedra Weldon, which is all about technomancers. So you should check it out.
Nice. All right. Well, with that, we are going to get into our game because in the spirit of Lizzo, it's about damn time. And we are back. So when we left off last week, a few things had happened. Oh, first of all, Perunia had attended her first match against Gilbert Shreese, an interesting sort of fellow who went down pretty quick in the second round. She just knocked him out. And so she will advance.
I believe you're referring to Zane. I don't know who this Perunia is, but Zane is the one that won that round.
Perunia did it, masquerading as this Zane Johnson, whatever. The Rock.
Zane the Rock Johnson. I'm not actually sure what the last name is.
In any case, and so she will be advancing to the second day. Yeah. Meanwhile, over at the university, the Grand University of Castanede, everyone went in, and Shaelune went in with Nugatsa to just kind of take a peek around in the admin building before they all went to the school building. And somebody exiting the admin building caught the attention of the others who were waiting there. That would be Drew, Lex, and Rogelio. Drew went to go maybe see what they're about, given that they had kind of mean-mugged the group a little bit. And what we know as the folks tuning in is that this is someone apparently that Drusilla knew, and that Drew maybe had some concerns that this person was trying to get in on Drew's thing, but it appears they had their own thing going on, and so Drew very nastily told them they better watch themselves and not be around. And then came back and was like, I don't know who that was. The group then all together went to the School of Arcanum and to the Divination Wing, where the head of Divination, Ahmad Shkreel, informed them that there had recently been an attack at the school of the undead variety, everybody's favorite. But that did not stop them from being able to go to the Divination Hall and make use of a large device that was able to, through experimentation, Shaelune not being sure what she wanted to throw into that device right away, gave them the compass. And so we were given a little bit of a tour of the life of this Nizores compass that is able to point out sources of Nizores or perhaps other strong sources of magic and arcane. Afterwards, she said that she would love to come back, perhaps in the future, and make use of it for a few other items and maybe to talk about some other dealings of magic, to which Ahmad Shkreel said absolutely. Shaelune learned that Ahmad Burungan, who was her university professor before she got involved in all of this, was at the university and was actually involved in that attack a few weeks ago, but had since returned back to Deseret. And so they all left. Nugatsa said he needed a little bit of time to set up a room for them, which was fine because they had to go and pick up Panabon and Perunia from where they said they would meet them back at the train station and then bring them back. And so they had gone, picked up Panabon and Perunia from the train station, brought them back, and have met up with Nugatsa, who has gotten them rooms at a hotel that is kind of on the edge of the Sunny Park and East Home, which is around where the university sits. The Visitors Hotel is the name of the hotel, Iroajan Aliavir, and has bid them adieu. There is information available for getting a hold of Nagatsu the following day, but with the expectation that he would be at the university as well, but that Shaelune would probably eventually be at the university at the divination office and everything. Figured they'd find each other again if they needed to. And with that, left the group of you for dinner. Perunia said she needed some time to. She said she wanted to work out, and went off to do that. While the rest of you are left deciding what to do for the evening.
I'd like to see what resources the town has, the city has. Do some shopping and see what's available. Again, perhaps magical items. Though magic is new, perhaps some have made it their way into the public market. So I want to check that.
How was the university? Nagatsu's voice sounded a little stressed. Did anything happen while you were there?
That reminds me, actually. Do you still have that tracer that you broke?
Yeah. Out of character, I believe so. In character, yes, I would never get rid of something like that. Yeah.
Right.
It is in my inventory. I just looked. I promise.
Okay. So they have this ability, this ritual contraption that can show you the history of an item or object. And I thought it would be good to maybe give us some extra information about the people that were trying to find Rogelio. The other thing is the school was attacked a few weeks ago, Panabon, and it was Arturis, and there was Dedomancy.
Great. So that makes like 3 for 3, 4 for 4 if you count other shitties. But that's like 4 for 4.
I thought it would actually be a really interesting idea if we took everyone back there and took a piece of the rubble and saw the history of the rubble using the contraption, and that way you all might be able to see the face of Arturis and be able to identify him if as we continue this fight with Flamgesu, you'd all know what he looks like and who to avoid.
I'd also be happy to just do some good old fashioned like looking at the stuff to see what it looks like. Unless they've got it all. I don't know how quickly people fix things here, but you know, we could also just like look at it and see what it looks like. Because that's fun. Yeah.
So, and then I did find out that my professor is alive, which is a huge relief. But I plan to do more checking in on some people. I want to check on Lox and Aegis. I want to check on my parents. I want to check on Flamgesu, and maybe even Arturis. So it gives you a one-way look at what they're doing.
And they're good with you using all their. I mean, obviously, because you're the most brilliant person of the time. So I guess they'd be okay with you using all their stuff.
They said that they're not using. It takes a lot of energy. They can only do it so many times a day. But they said that they're not being fully utilized right now because a lot of the students were injured or worse during the attack. So they're not using all of them. So I should be able. It might take a few days to look at everything I want to look at, but I also want to study the equipment and see what I can learn about. Maybe there's a ritual without the contraption that I could utilize to do similar things in the future. I'm thinking very similarly. I feel like this is similar to Panabon the stones that we saw in Rizosi's house that I took the stones for. I think that's what he was doing, but a different, like, this was more instantaneous than what I think Rizosi was able to do. So
we're all together, correct?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to cut in, but would I actually be able to use one of those slots to when they look in the past of certain objects? Would you mind if I stepped in at some point?
Of course.
Are you an object?
I'd think technically yes. If at all possible, I just want to try to understand the core in me a little better. If it works, it works. If not, if not.
I'd actually, Rogelio, like your help with the research, because in addition to these rituals, which are fascinating and I want to learn all about them, it's an arcane university, so they probably got other books, spells that might be useful to you and I both. And so there's plenty of research we could be doing.
That's true. We are still shopping, though, correct?
Yes.
I've heard plenty about shopping. It sounds like a fun stress reliever.
I think that's what we're doing tonight, and then tomorrow we'll go back to the university.
Okay, perfect. I'm all for this plan.
Can we backpedal really quick? You said deadomancy?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Deadomancy is when I told you the story of how Panabon and I were chased. The first thing that ever happened with Arturus, actually, I saw him sneaking out of the basement at my university, so I snuck in to see what he was up to, and I found a hidden room, and there were these, I mean, they were human, but they were just rotting and skeletal and awful. So he's using magic to control and raise and utilize the dead in some kind of aggressive way, which is awful to begin with. So I started calling it deadomancy because it's like magic study of dead things, dead, and yeah.
That sounds so resourceful.
Well, it's also not a good use of a hidden room. Like, there's so many things you could do with a hidden room. Like, every hidden room we've come across, bad things have been inside. Like, it would be nice. It would be a nice change of pace just to find a hidden room where there was like cool stuff inside the hidden room, like daggers I could steal. You know, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
Daggers. You know, I
have
can relocate
questions,
many
but I will
things.
hold.
Shaelune, can you do deadomancy?
No. There's some research we found in Rizosi's that shows kind of the theory and study behind it, but I mean, A, I would never, and B, just no.
Oh, okay.
You would never?
Deadomancy? Deadomancy's evil.
What if one of us died though?
What if what?
What if like Panabon died? Panabon's body's got a lot of secrets.
I mean, I would just ask Nipaway for help because that's what we did last time, and
Oh.
that seemed to work.
I just
But
remembered.
wait, do we have to be in like Nipaway's country in order for Nipaway to respawn? I should have asked before they left.
No.
I don't know the rules because the only god I've ever really known is Melfred, and it's like God I really believe in. Just kind of got to go, hey, Milfroon, what's up?
You
So,
do not have
I
to
don't know
be
rules about it.
in one country to have Nipoe respond. Aegis was not Ishani. Also,
Guess I have to start doing the calisthenics again in case I die. I don't want to get up and do calisthenics again.
Also, like, Shay gets kind of like upset because in her head she realizes as soon as Panabon brought up Nipoe that what she did with Uzenda could be considered deadomancy in a way, and she's got some thinking to do.
The deadomancy.
Sounds resourceful.
Agreed.
Oh, and by the way, while Shaelune is either distracted in thought or looking away, each of Zane Johnson's managers gets a piece of paper slipped to them with their undercover rock theme name. And I will let you know what that is at any time that you wish to know.
I wish to know immediately.
I would like to know too.
Same.
May I make
We
a
just got- I just-
perception check?
You absolutely can make a perception check.
Oh my god. We're playing
In
D&D.
fact, what you're going to do is we're going to start with Panabon making a slate of hand check with disadvantage. We're going to call it just one check with disadvantage. This will cover all passing of notes and will account for any awkwardness in the receiving of the notes from you.
Fabulous. Ouch. That's bad.
Ooh.
You only have to beat a 10, Shaelune.
With my perception of +1 versus his +9, I thought this was gonna go way different, but I have a chance. All right.
There's a
You
chance.
really do. Wow.
You
That's-
absolutely notice because as like
Can I just verbally thank
Panabon-
him?
as Panabon hands one first to Rogelio and then is moving to Lex and then to you kind of notice what Panabon's doing because as Panabon is moving around, suddenly Rogelio's looking down at a paper in his hand and then you see Panabon kind of doing something and then they're looking at these papers and Rogelio's like, oh, thanks. And
Taking it all.
Not it to explain everything to Shaelune.
What's going on? I gotta do the straight face.
Panabon's passing out papers. What does mine say?
Yeah.
I'm giving us all aliases for while we're in the city.
I thought
You
I was
already
just
you already
Fred
have
helping
one.
research.
Oh, are you Fred? Is that well? You don't need my alias then if you want to use Fred.
What is my Panabon given alias?
Your Panabon given alias will be Sedimentus Cretaceous.
Oh, mine's complicated.
No one ever said an alias had to be easy.
Is that something you?
I give mine to Shaelune.
Do you want to trade?
Is that something you guys aren't telling me?
Yes. Sorry.
the answer to that question.
To be completely honest, I have no context. I was given a paper with a name on it. This is my alias. Demento Croatia.
Close enough. We'll work on it.
Lex,
get it.
Yes.
what is it?
Okay, I just want to preface this is before you said that we had to promise there was no more secrets.
So it was before you promised there were no more secrets. So when I asked if there were more secrets, there was another secret.
Technically, it's not my secret to tell. Lex looks around wildly. One of the other ones got joined a fight, and Lex just looks away.
Perunia joined a fight. She had mentioned to me that she wanted to, and I told her she could if it was important to her. So, why keep it a secret?
Because it's like a tournament, and we don't know how long I'm going to be here, and you're doing a thing, so we didn't want you to feel pressure about it.
If I already knew about it, why would Perunia want to keep it a secret?
Wait, so Perunia told you about this fight? I assumed you didn't know about the fight.
Yeah, I was told that you didn't know, so and we weren't supposed to tell you.
Sounds like miscommunication on Perunia's part.
I'm confused.
Did you take
I
the
just
deal
got to
with?
make a.
Did you take the deal with the mafia?
What deal?
Who are you looking at when you actually ask that question?
Each
out of
of you.
character?
Probably leaning toward Lex because Lex is feeling very honest right now.
Because Lex is terrified of you.
I might have been there when Perunia decided to take said deal. But I was told to be very quiet and not say anything.
We were. I told her it was a bad idea. I told her we should.
Wait, they were mafia? I thought they were the people who just handled the tournament.
I told you they were mafia when we met with them.
I don't know. I thought it was a joke.
I think this is going really well, guys.
Flawless.
I was just told there was a tournament and I needed to give people rock theme names because I'm on theme. So that's what I'm doing.
All right.
Since originally discussed, though, we have no idea what's going on. We're not even sure if Perunia went to it.
That's true. I haven't seen Perunia, but
What are the odds that she went to fight right away as soon as the train got in? That's abysmal.
Yeah.
that'd be silly.
Maybe she wanted to keep it a surprise, so when she won, she could surprise you with the winnings. Maybe.
I believe you guys mentioned wanting to go shopping. Let's get on with it.
As you turn and head out into the evening, you notice, these are probably in a lot of places, but Shailene's probably noticing for the first time, there is like a poster that's just kind of attached to the wall just outside the hotel that says in Melvedi, Castanede 3416, Battle of the Brawn, the dates, which are, oh geez, 1 second. The dates, which are Tukum 12 through 19, which is the week. Right now, it is actually the evening of the 12th. And there's like silhouettes of people in different, like maybe fighting stances throughout. It's got some like locations, sponsors who lists like businesses like Starike Corporation and other sponsors and the like, etc. Seems to be a big to-do.
As we are walking around, trying to find places to shop, I would like to kind of stand in the back, and I would like to keep my eyes open for a certain someone. I want to make sure we're not being followed or anything like that.
Absolutely.
A question then, out of character, because I don't know. So you're going to, Drew, you're going to hear Panabon whistle every now and then, because I'm also somewhere near the back of the group. You have, I don't actually know if I should be asking this, GM. This is one of my non-D&D knowledge holes. If I start whistling in the kind of context of thievery and seeing what other thieves are around, would Druzilla have any context for that?
That is actually something for you all to determine once, or well, not for you all as players to determine, but for you essentially to find out as a character.
Okay, sorry, yeah. So you are going to hear Panabon whistling every now and then, but it does not sound like a song necessarily.
Okay.
Okay. The first thing that you notice as you leave the hotel and are in the area right by the school and kind of on the western side of the school is that most of the buildings in this area seem a lot more, I'm going to make up a word here, edificial. So they look like government and state buildings for the most part, or like very large walls surrounding buildings that are inside inner courtyards. There's a few restaurants that seem really nice, actually. There are some cafes that are closed at this hour, but there don't seem to be any businesses. There are a few people kind of walking up and down the street. You do pass a couple of quiet taverns as you're walking, but there doesn't seem to be anything in the way of like a store, general grocery or otherwise in the vicinity that you're in.
Should we ask for directions? Because I don't think we know where we're going. Or shopping is very boring. I'm not sure.
I think we could figure it out on our own.
How busy is it here, Danny? Oh, you muted yourself.
It's really not busy right now. In fact, it seems really quiet. There's a few people. Most traffic that you see, most people you see seem to be going in the direction from west to east. If they're like moving with any sort of purpose. Anyone who's meandering, that maybe they're stopping in one of the few taverns that you've seen, but mostly it's people moving eastward. And kind of thinking about where you're at, you know, you're at the border between Sunny Park and East Home, as they call it, and that as you're coming in on the train, Sunny Park was a lot more spread out, like there's a lot more space between buildings, and that you recall Nugatsa mentioning that was like the government center, and that a lot of the people that worked or that worked there during the day actually lived in East Home.
I'm not sure this is the shopping district. This I don't see any buskers. It doesn't feel very festive. These buildings are really sheer. I don't like that.
Minya, why don't you climb up and get a better look of the lay of the city for us? Stay out of sight of clear skies.
Is that a beige belly pink cat with wings? You have one of those?
Minya is a horned glider.
Did you already use its wishes?
Yeah,
I can't take
Rogelio
credit
got
for
a
this.
weird story. Rogelio was told a weird story by some drunk.
Go
I didn't know
ahead,
you had one.
Minya. I showed you all when I.
I was not there.
Oh, you
I
were.
was in the back of the train.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So I take Minya out of the satchel and put her on a wall to climb and get a better look at the city.
Okay. So as Minya does find a suitable place to get up high, a lot of the buildings here they don't get that high. I mean, they're still pretty tall buildings, maybe 4 or 5 stories. But it is one of you're in like the northeast part of the city is not as tall as like say Silver Yard or Cold Crest. The southwest, the far west, and the far south and the southwest are where like a lot of the taller buildings are, because that's where a lot of the industrial and corporate sort of parts businesses and companies do a lot of their operating. To the east, though, it's a lot quieter. It seems more like urban to suburban, sort of, and a lot more like town-esque. Um, and that's like most of the east of the city, which is about the same height as the area that you're in.
I'll as I close my eyes and see what Minya sees, I'll relay that to everyone.
So you can see through Minnie's eyes. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I can hear too.
That's fascinating. That's
Was that
fascinating.
was that one of your wishes?
Sure.
I don't know how it works. I was briefly told about it.
I think what I would like to do is I would like to step into a tavern, have a drink, and ask a bartender where they would go shopping. Therefore, we'd get good prices on things. Hearing no objections, I'm going to slide into a nearby tavern.
Okay, heading into a tavern. It's very soft lighting. There's a few people in the tavern that are sitting and having quiet conversations. It is, as taverns go, this particular tavern is what you might call uppity. It's the clientele here. They're all very finely dressed. The staff is also finely presented, and the bar itself is made of is crafted out of a fine dark wood, which is carved along the side, and the bartender kind of looks down at you as you approach.
Hello, Fab. Hello, fabulous person. How are you doing today?
Yes, sir. What might I do for you?
Oh, I would love 2 things. I'd like to taste a fabulous gnomish whiskey, and then I'd like to find out a little bit more about the city. I'm a travel writer, and I'm here to write a travel article about Castanede. So I want to get the skinny from some local.
I see. How fabulous a gnome whiskey are you seeking?
Oh, something in the middle. I still want to be able to see after I finish the shot. Ah, ha, ha.
Very good, sir. He turns. Is anyone else coming in, or is everybody else waiting on the street?
I'll come in.
Lex probably follows too.
Does Shaelune stay out or does Shaelune go in?
I've got my spell book out, and I'm gonna sit on like the front stoop, if or porch or something, and start writing in my spell book.
Drew wants to poke her head in and just kind of do a look around real quick, and then she's gonna stay out with Shaelune.
Okay. There's actually outside seating from this location. It's like right at the beginning of where people would put outside seating in the season. So it's a little brisk, but it's not, and it's a little bit too chilly for most of the patrons to actually be out, of what few there are. As the bartender turns with a bottle and a tumbler, he takes note of Lex and Rogelio entering and just kind of stops. And he sets the tumbler down and pours, sliding it to Panabon. Friends of yours, sir.
Oh, yes. Well, I am slightly eccentric, as you can see, so I keep fabulous eccentric company. That's the best way to get to know the city, is to have a group of eclectic friends.
I see. Will they be drinking?
I don't know. Will they be drinking is a good question.
Maybe no mind. I have no money.
Do you want a drink, Rogelio?
No.
I'll just have water.
Very well. He turns and steps away, and after a few moments returns with water in a tall, very clean glass, and sets it before you.
Ooh, actually, I'll be right back. Can I run outside and ask Shaelune if she wants to drink?
You do so.
Yeah, I want to just like poke my head out the door towards the stoop. I'd be like, Shaelune, did they have nice drinks in here? Would you like one?
Sure, thank you.
Of course, I heard drinks help people from an old friend. What do you drink?
Whatever you get is fine.
How much help would you like said drink to provide?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was only told that drinks help people. I'm not sure myself. I'm only going off of previous knowledge.
Ask Lex.
Okay. I go back inside.
Hey.
Over to Lex.
Hello, operator. Thank you so much for gifting the sub, and Utter Disgust for subscribing. You can both give a nat 20 to the player of your choice. Just type it in chat.
Ooh, fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd be more excited, but Shay's in a mood right now.
That's why I'm getting him a
I
drink.
can't imagine why.
So I guess I make my way over to Lex. Lex, do you know by any chance how much help Shaelune might need through drinking?
That sounds like a really loaded question.
I was told to ask you by Shaelune.
I don't actually drink. We can ask Panabon.
Dad? turn to Panabon. Same question,
No.
if you heard.
Well, I mean, I think after a long day, they might like an ale if they have. I'm not sure if this is more of a spirit house or an ale house. So let's get a recommendation from our new friend, barkeep, whose name I haven't learned yet, but I'm sure to learn soon.
Spirits.
A few moments pass, and the bartender does head back your way. Is there anything else I can do for you?
my friend wants to try something local. What would you recommend that's like a good brand of Castamede, either an ale or a spirit? Because I
Something
know
that'll
there are
pick their
different
mood up.
specialties. Yeah.
Oh, we have a local ale, the Mottled Dog.
Ooh.
Perhaps they might be interested in that.
I'm always open to trying new things. Hence the travel writer job. Yes, let's have one of those.
Wait, I thought it was for Shaelune, not you.
Oh, yes, but it's a like a group thing. So
Very
it's
well.
what they call a royal. I don't know if royal we is a term in Caiaphas, but I don't know what else to call it. So
There's an equivalent. He turns and drafts an ale and returns with it, sets it down. Yes. Yeah.
thank you. And also, one more thing. I know you're quite busy, so I don't bother you too much, but you know, we really are in Castanet for a short time. I'd love to know kind of what your favorite site is to show people when they're traveling through.
Are you looking for popular touring destinations?
Or unpopular ones that you would like to become popular.
Well, I dare say you should probably, if you haven't already, look at visit the seat of the High Council here in Sunny Park, the university nearby. Then there is, of course, the precipice, which is where all of the airships do their docking. And there are a few buildings in the Sylviards. Perhaps, the Daywollen company. They have a building here. There's something to do with the heavens.
Ooh, the heavens.
Yes, the name of the company. It is some large Daywollen company. It's similar to our own Starike, in the Starike headquarters building, of course. And there are a couple of nice theaters in Eastholm.
Thank you. That's a good place to start. I always like to ask locals because you know what is really the best in the city, and I always find people exceedingly helpful. That's what I love about my travels. Everyone's really willing to show off hometown pride, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, well. Will there be anything else?
Oh no, it was wonderful to. Would you like something, my child?
I was just gonna say I'll take the tall drink, and I just want to emphasize back over to Panabon. Like Shaelune likes like the tall drinks, just like gesturing to the height of the glass. Correct?
I do. However, they would normally serve the drink. That's an important thing when visiting a tavern, is to honor the spirits of the house and
The
however
ale-
they serve
Lex-
the drink.
The
Lex
ale
just
is poured
nods
in
at
a
you
taller
from behind.
glass than the whiskey. Yes.
Yeah. From the last tavern that I was in, I would definitely say Rogelio has absolutely no knowledge of drinks and bars and whatnot. So it's only observation. There are tall glasses and small glasses.
Lex just nods at you from behind Panabon.
Just like in real life.
Okay. Then I take the tall glass and I bring it out to Shaelune. I'd like to just set it down besides them. And be like, this was the recommendation of the barkeep. He said it will warm your spirits, and it also tastes very good. And I believe Panabon paid for it.
Yes.
I do.
As Pana. Oh, go for it, Sarah.
I'm so absorbed in my writing, I don't even respond.
That's why I just put it down beside you.
As I am going to pay, because of course I'm going to pay and leave a nice tip. If tipping, I don't know if Castanede is a tipping culture or not, but I'm going to assume tipping is good everywhere. I'm also going to ask about good places to shop, like if there's a nice shopping district nearby.
No, probably the most friendly place to shop is going to be in Eastholm. If you're looking for, well, most anything can be found there, from specialty to standard goods and groceries and general markets.
Ooh, what's the least friendly?
I don't imagine I quite follow.
Well, if one is the most friendly, then there must be a place to avoid going to shop. That would be the least friendly.
Oh, I meant friendly as in there's a lot to be found. It is easy to shop in this location. I suppose the least friendly in this manner would be a place with no shops at all.
Oh, yes. It's very good. Thank you so much. I hope you have a fabulous and pleasant evening. Thank you for your help tonight.
Yes. The whiskey was silver, and the ale is it's 2 silver.
All right. How about we round up to 5 silver? That's what we'll do.
Yeah, that's quite generous. Thank you.
Of course.
All right.
Walking out, can I just be like, you paid him for a whole extra ale?
Sometimes, so no one has said this to my face, but sometimes people call that the Panabon tax. I understand my brand. It's okay.
Okay.
Recording that one.
Pretty much as you come out, I'm done with. I kind of wrap up my spell book and put it aside, and I get up and kind of start walking in front of the, like, pacing in front of the tavern, and like, my head is bobbing even though my mouth isn't moving, and my expression's changing because I'm mentally talking to Minia, but not out loud.
Okay, so good news, we're nearby based on the bartender's attitude. Bad news, I didn't actually find out where this is, but we need to look for, I think, Eastholm. I think it's going to be like an art and shopping district, which will be really nice. I do love arts. And I think, Drew, if you'd like taking a show with me, I bet we could find something we'd both enjoy. They've apparently got a couple of really great theater houses while we're here.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yes. Totally going to legally pay. I'm totally not going to sneak into any theater houses while we're here in Castanede. I wonder if they'd noticed that their lead actor was replaced by a no.
Are you walking then?
We don't forget the ale. Let it be heard.
How late is it is my question, because I don't actually have a concept of what time it is. So I don't know if we should actually be heading back to the hotel.
It's getting near to dinner time.
Okay.
So you can walk. You have a sense the city's really big, and you're going to a whole other district of it. You can take the SkyTrain. And there do appear to be carriages and other public transportation. mostly beast-drawn. Though you do see there are vehicles, like really early cars, but
I
none of
don't
them.
think
But none of
any of
them
us
are
would know how to drive a car.
right. But there's no like taxi that way. So there's
Oh.
beast-drawn transport, or you can take the SkyTrain, or walk.
I'm always for taking the SkyTrain as long as it's a reasonable price and not exorbitant.
And we don't know where we're going.
Yeah, there's also that.
Oh, there's like a city map. So if you're going to
Mhm.
East Home, you can figure that out pretty easy.
One of the like, you are here.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
I'm fine either way. Whatever y'all want to do, it's fine with me.
Skytrain sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's like the last train we were on,
When is
but in the sky.
when does the train to Desaren leave?
Train to Desaren leaves every day,
Okay.
probably a couple of times a day.
Okay. In second thought, guys, I'm not feeling great. I'm gonna head back to the inn for the night.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you want
anything
Do you
someone?
want us to come?
No, enjoy. Here. I'm gonna give them 10 gold pieces each from the pouch, and say have a nice dinner and enjoy shopping.
Is there anything you need while we're out?
Not that I can think of at the moment, but thanks.
We'll be.
And you're sure you don't want anyone to accompany you back? You're okay with just walking back on your own?
Yeah, that's not an issue, and I'll cast invisibility.
That's very fair.
So Shaelune casts invisibility. This does get a couple of like looks from some of the people passing by, like, oh, as they talk at some point and then scurry along. But nothing like untoward. Mostly it's an oddity that some people have witnessed. And Shaelune scurries on her way as the rest of you go to the SkyTrain and make your way to East Home. And we will explore that when we get back here after our 10 minutes and see what there is to be found.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. As we head into East Home, you board the SkyTrain. It's not that much. It's just a few copper pieces to ride. They actually have like an annual pass and a monthly pass that you can get, but obviously you do not anticipate being here for that long. So it's a few copper pieces for each of you to ride all the way to East Home. And when you get...
While we're on the SkyTrain, I want to sidle up to Drew. I don't know how the seating arrangements are. I'm imagining like a ski lift type scenario, but I have no idea. But I want to sidle up to Drew, and I'm going to ask Drew, hey, so you were at the college, right?
I was.
Yeah, so I would love your perspective on what it looked like that you saw, the carnage. Were there a bunch of like corpses dancing about, ready to attack people on the lawn? Like, what did it look like? What was going on with that?
Well, we didn't see any corpses.
Oh, that's good. That's the initiation right there. By the way, once you've seen your first moving corpse, then you're in for life.
Well, no offense, but I hope I don't see that.
Oh, it's gonna hunt your waking dreams, but it's kind of unavoidable. We tend to create open air graveyards every city we go to, and so I'm just trying to figure out like in city planning where we're going to put it in Castanede.
Oh, well, yeah, there were no bodies that I remember seeing, but one of the buildings especially looked um pretty bad. Um,
Did it look like it was like it was like there would have been a fire, or did it look like somebody like attacked it with a spear, like it was like a giant like wildebeest or something?
um, it was more like a bomb went off more than anything, wasn't it? Like there was rubble all
Yeah,
around. As I remember.
that's what it looked like.
Okay. Um, yeah, it there was just a lot of rubble around. More like maybe somebody tried to blast their way in or out, I guess. Um, but it didn't look like somebody tried to set the building on fire,
Oh,
and there were no
okay.
bodies.
Well, yeah. I gotta tell you, you had your chance to get out, but now Shaylune's mad at you just like everybody else. So you're eventually going to see a dead body moving around. And I hope you're not by yourself when that day comes.
I hope that
Also,
day doesn't come, but if so, hopefully I'm not alone.
also, you should have an implement actually ready for that situation that is not sharp, because you can stab them and stab them and stab them, and like nothing will happen to them, and it's a big hit to the ego. Like, just so the stabbing doesn't work, you have to think of something else when you see them. After the abject terror, obviously.
Okay. Now I never actually anticipated this was going to be a issue I was going to have to work out, so I will think on that.
Just workshop something. If you need to if you'd like a buddy to like workshop your screen with, we could like bunk in the same room, and like we could workshop your like deadomancy coming at you scream if you'd like, so you're like ready and warmed up for when it comes, or you could like let it flow naturally. Either way.
I think I just want to let it flow organically when it happens. I want it to be a surprise to everybody, including myself.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's also this thing that is really weird. Like, I don't know if this is ever going to happen again, but there's this thing where they can make you imagine like things coming out of the ground, holding you to the ground, and then you have to like not imagine them in order to defeat them. But otherwise, they just hold you to the ground, and you can't see them to stab them. And like, I don't understand it at all. But like, it's a thing that we came across once. So like, just be aware. Sometimes you'll see them, but they won't be there, but they're definitely there, but they're not there. Yeah.
You've had some interesting travels, haven't you?
Oh yeah, more than I'd care to, but it's fun. Shopping day is fun. It's less fun when Shaelune is angry at you, but that's more because Shaelune is the strongest being in the known universe. So there's that. But it is what it is. Take the good with the bad.
Well, hopefully we can do something to make her happy again. I like happy Shaelune, not mad at me, Shaelune.
I mean, that would be ideal, but this is me we're talking about. I'm surprised that I'm still alive at this point, quite frankly. But it's fine.
I'm happy you're still alive too.
Oh, thank you.
The train arrives at the station in East Home, and you disembark, and you find that there's actually a lot going on. There's a lot of people out and about. There are several stores that are open, even though it's getting on into the evening. There are several restaurants. It seems fairly lively here.
Any pickpocket orphans running about, Danny? Any pickpockets of any kind? Don't have to be orphans. Dealer's choice.
Make a perception check.
All right, make a perception check.
None that you see.
We're very good here.
Yeah, and I mean it's brightly lit. It has there's like a sort of a festive attitude kind of going around. Um, yeah, it's fairly cheerful and cheery. You also seem to have found yourself in a place where there are several um, businesses kind of along either side of the road. A variety of things: clothiers, general stores, grocers, haberdashers. Um, Looks like a couple of like doctors' offices, maybe even. Um, just all manner of shops, some taverns, some. Um, there's even like a liquor store. They actually sell the alcohol, but you don't drink it there. It's like you take it home,
You take.
but not in
How do you?
bulk.
How would you have a relationship with your local bartender if you take the alcohol home? What kind of store is that? Castane's a weird place. What are we looking for, by the way? Did anyone make a list? Or are we just like buying stuff to like get rid of coin? Like, what are we doing here?
I mean, Rahalia wanted to go shopping, and I just wanted to make sure Rahalia was okay, because I don't think Rahalia's been shopping before.
I just heard it was a fun activity people do, but now that I have 10 entire golden pieces,
I
Shaelune
would
wanted to
not.
go
I
back.
would not announce. I would not announce the amount of gold pieces you have to the world. I would.
Okay.
I would be very vague about that personally.
An undetermined amount of gold pieces greater than 9.
I want to find something
That's-
nice for Shaelune, but I don't know what she would like.
Yeah, we were gonna go to a magic store, so I want to look out for any kind of store selling anything or anything magic, whether it's books on it or items or I don't know, anything that catches eye like that. Can I cast detect magic? Is that the easier way around this?
You could cast detect magic, and then just kind of keep an eye open for anything that looks magic as you are walking. That is definitely a thing you can do.
So is this like is this like a shopping district where each of the stores are separate, or is this like an outdoor mall thing where there would be an informational kiosk of some kind?
It's not like a mall, so it's basically you're just in a neighborhood, and this seems to be like a central part of this neighborhood. So it's not even like it's planned to be like a shopping ward. It's just kind of the center of where everybody goes to gather, and it just kind of that's where the shops have popped up.
Well, I say, while we're looking for magic, we've been on the road for a while. Shaelune might enjoy some like fresh fruit or something fresh and not doughy or salty or from somewhere desert like. Beyond that, I feel like I should probably know what Shaelune likes as far as like fruit things go, but I am drawing a blank right now. So I like bananas myself personally. So
Is there a food she doesn't like that we should maybe know?
Is it decided we're just making a hey, sorry, Shaelune basket?
Oh, they love it.
we're sorry. We're sorry for being who we are.
Sorry about that secret kept post non-secret time.
Sorry about that. But I this is where Sarah's going to have to step in because I feel like Panabon would know this, but I both don't know what kind of fruit is available for purchase, nor what Shaelune was like.
I don't.
I'm a bad friend.
I avoided asking questions about where you got food for us, so I didn't complain one way or another. I don't think.
How does Shaelune feel about like if there was like a pomegranate avatar in the universe?
What?
Like if I don't know if there are pomegranates in this world, but if there's like pomegranate type.
Like okay, yeah. Yes, there is a pomegranate. Yes.
Yeah.
They are normally in season in the, I want to say, like early part of winter.
Great. I don't even know what time of year it is, really.
It's spring. It's beginning of spring.
Oh, it's spring. Okay.
Hey, Danny, whatever happened to that ale that was on the stoop? Or I guess maybe what did Shaelune ever take that?
Nope.
Okay, then I would definitely have picked it up and kept it. But like,
So just walking around with it.
yeah, I can't drink it. I just have an
love
ale.
it.
As long as they don't confiscate it on the SkyTrain, yeah, I still have it. I'd say
No
she
one
likes ale,
bothers you as you travel. Like you don't seem to be causing any trouble, and so people are like giving you plenty of room to just be.
people are
Okay.
so spacious here.
So let's find a grocer and we'll get apricots and cherries, because those are both spring fruits in our world. So let's do that, because those both sound like that seems both safe and wise.
We can ask for
Absolutely.
in-season fruits.
Absolutely, you get those. There are apples. Most of the vegetables that are available at the grocer are more hardy, like root vegetables and the like. Not a lot of greens. There are some, you know.
What about chocolate?
There's a confectioner. There is chocolate to be had and other sweets. And as you are walking, did you go ahead and cast Detect Magic?
Once we get to an area where it's not like food related product, like maybe like stores you can go inside and it looks like maybe there might be something around there, then I will cast it, yes.
I mean, it's a 10-minute, it lasts for 10 minutes from the casting.
Yeah. I'm not going to use it around fruit stands.
Well, so
That's
you're
how
not,
long
it's just a whole like space, right? So like, if they're like, if you want to wait until after they're done looking for fruit, but it's not like a fruit stand could be right next to a store that has shoes, could be right next to a store.
Okay, then
chocolate.
yes. I thought it was like sectioned for fruit and then sectioned for stores. Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. Yeah, so as you are walking, you do notice a faint glow coming from the window of one of the stores. The front of it, there's a sign that in Melvetti, it says Eliza's Invigorating Easements. And then underneath it is a second placard, like a smaller one, that then says Akal Yavin, which is Trash to Treasure in Melvetti. And under that, it says featuring Uden and B.
Ooh, a pawn shop. All right, then I'll let everyone know I want to take a step inside of this store to look around for stuff for Shaelune and I. I don't know if they're like at the fruit stand next to me, but I'm gonna do that. If anyone wants to accompany or join.
I've just been silently following Rogelio this whole time.
As everybody is like ducking into whatever store they're going into, Drew kind of wants to stay out on the sidewalk for a moment and just kind of look around. She's still trying to see if she sees her old friend or anybody that looks like they might be following them.
Give me a perception check.
Oh dear.
You do not see anybody as you're standing out there. The rest of you heading inside the store. There is.
I don't actually head inside. I noticed that Jura stopped. I also don't really want to go in a magic shop, so like I'm just inclined to hang out front. It's not really my thing.
Okay. So yeah, as you head inside, there is a young woman at the counter. She has brown hair that's cut in a bob, except at the very front. She has some red dyed hair that like extends down to her collarbone. She is wearing a. You'd call them goggles, but they almost look like they're just lenses for like glasses, but they are on a strap that is around her head. And she is. She looks up as you walk in. It appears that she was pouring the contents of one small file into another one. As you step in, she looks up. Oh, hello, welcome. Please come in. Oh, my. And she turns and yells into the back. B, you're gonna want to see this. And then she turns back to you. Yes, how may we help you?
What does the inside of this store look like? Like, is it a bunch of vials and stuff, or is
So
it like...
the inside of the store, there's her counter that she's at, and that's on the left side. As you come in, it's bright over there. There's a pleasant glow. There is a single rack kind of in the center of the center left of the door, in the middle of the floor, and there's several vials and filters and the like on that. There's behind her, there's several shelves that have a lot of like potion vials and the like, and it seems like you're in like some sort of potion shop for the most part. As you're looking around, and many of these potions have a slight glow to them. As you look to the right, though, you notice, you didn't see it when you first stepped in, but you notice there's a darker corner. There's an older man. He is looking at you with very bright, alert blue eyes. His hair is gray on top. He's got a gray mustache and beard that's neatly trimmed, wearing a workman's tunic. He does have looks like maybe a dagger of some sort, sort of banded around his chest. And he's got goggles as well. He's looking up, and in front of him, he's at a desk. And that desk is strewn with mechanical junk, gears, cases, and the like. And he's got, looks like a lot of workman's tools. And then to his left is like a cabinet, and inside the cabinet are just a variety of things, many of which give off a sort of a glow to your eyes.
So it's like a multiple vendor shop.
It looks like it is the potion vendor shop, and this fella in the corner has a corner of it.
Gotcha. Okay. And sorry, what was the name of the shop one more time? It was like B and something.
So there was the main sign that said Eliza's invigorating easements, and then the sub sign said basically treasure to trash, featuring Uden and B.
Gotcha. Okay, then I'll go up to the woman, put out my hand for a handshake, and
Oh, and she shakes your hand with she's just got this big grin. Just absolutely fascinating. I'm Eliza. Welcome to my shop. You are, as she looks back at Lex as well.
Fred.
Excellent. And you?
Great question. Do I still have that piece of paper with me?
It's that one that says sedimentous crustaceous.
Yeah, Domenico cautious, whatever it might be. I don't know.
You read it.
Yeah, I am whatever the paper says.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Oh, it is.
Indeed. B, what do you do? You're gonna want to see this. And then you hear like something just crash in the back. As she turns back to you. Well, welcome to potions or Yudin and B when she gets out here. Just an assortment of items that they've been working on and tinkering with. How can we help you?
I'm actually shopping around for my magically interested friend who enjoys magic things. It seemed like this shop had that kind of thing. So I wanted to come in and look at your wares and see what your recommendations are for someone who's magically gifted.
No. Well, there's a. I think there's a scrivener here. To be honest, that's probably where you're going to get something that's going to most interest your magically interested friend. Presuming we're talking about someone who can actually cast magic. But if you're just talking about someone who's looking into collecting a variety of assorted magical items, this is probably the right place. So I would speak with Yudin over there if you are looking for something in the form of an object, trinket, a bauble. Here I have a variety of potions and tinctures for mostly healing, but a few special brews that have other effects. I don't know. Do you imbibe? Are you? I see you have an ale that you have not touched.
Yes. At this point, it is for barter if you are interested.
Do you know the brand?
I most likely would because the guy said it to me.
Mottled dog, he
Howling.
had said.
Mottled dog. Okay.
Oh,
Mottled dog ale.
that's a local ale. I take it off your hands and put.
Well, it's not for free. It is the
We'll
barter.
take it off your hands and put a silver towards any purchase. Silver coin towards any purchase. You make? Yes.
Okay. Does that also count for? And I point over to the guy I called Yudin. Does that also count for if I get anything from them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, if you have any questions or if you just want to speak with Yudin, please feel free to do so. And I'm here for any questions you have about any of the tinctures that you see. You'll note that they are mostly labeled. So the healing here, mostly in this cabinet, a few poison antidotes, and some more exotics over here, all labeled. And yes, speak to Yudin. Who knows what he's got over there today?
Well, I had something that is kind of unique, and I'd like to just pull the room between you and Yudin because I'm not sure who would manage this better. The only thing of interest that I know that my magically gifted friend would be interested in, it's something that would make them taller. Do you happen to have anything of that nature,
Oh my God.
whether it be a potion or a Yudin object? Maybe some stilts, but not just regular stilts, because I think the purpose of this is magic.
I speak with Yudin and see what he's got.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a potion for that kind of thing. Then I will go over to Yudin.
Yeah, indeed. There is a potion, as a matter of fact. I will see if I have any stocked while you speak with Yudin.
Okay. Then I will be back in a moment. And I go over to Yudin and his
Certainly.
trinkets.
So you turn and head over to Yudin, and then there's like a back to the store, and the entryway is just covered with a curtain. And barreling out from there as you're walking over is a small person. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw, just for kicks.
Kicks. Saves. I did it.
You did indeed. All right, so as you are moving across, Lexus, you're kind of turning. This small person barrels out. It is a gnome woman. She's wearing a brown smock apron over a workman's shirt. There's several tools in it. She has her head down in some device that she's tooling with as she's running out. And just at the last moment, she turns and says, "What did you need me to?" And then she just slams into you. Just as you had taken a step, like a solid step, so you're not off balance, and she just hits you and falls on her ass. And she looks up at you. Oh, nice.
I was looking like you almost spilled my ale, and I extend a hand to help them up.
Oh, your
So
L's
this
on
is
the
where the whole-
your L's on the counter now, though.
Oh, I didn't know we did the trade yet. I thought we talked about it. But okay, then you didn't spill my ale. But I do extend a hand to help them up.
She grabs your hand. She's got red hair. It's just tousled all over, kind of just it would be shoulder length if it was long, or if it wasn't like just so floofed out. She's got her the wide ears of a gnome, green-eyed, freckled. She's got teeth. Her teeth kind of protrude in the front a little bit, giving her sort of a mousy look. Um, who?
Are you okay?
Um,
Are they keeping you here?
She turns and looks around. Eliza's grinning. She looks at Lex. You? What?
My child? Yes.
Child? Did you make? You made this?
I brought Rahelio to life, yes.
Oh, so much
Oh,
for
sorry, not
Domenico.
Rahelio.
Rahelio is my surname.
You guys are so bad at this. You just say it, and there it is. Hi. I'm Beatrice. B. Everyone just calls me B.
I extend my hand again. So it's a pleasure to meet you, B.
She just kind of shakes it. Her eyes are just saucers. Hi. Where? How? We,
No, these are my given hands. I know, tragic, but they're perfectly normal.
yeah. Hi. She waves then at Lex. Hi. Oh, are you?
Lex, could you calm them down? I'm gonna go
Miracle of
speak to you,
life.
Dime.
I go and I just awkwardly stand next to them until they're ready.
I've not that he's big. He's Rogelio. He's big.
Domenico, sorry. I struggle to talk sometimes.
Rogelio Domenico. Okay. He's big. He looks what's and then and she just kind of absently walks away from you. as Rogelio's walking towards the man, and kind of follows behind Rogelio, and it's just like like without touching him and trying not to be bothersome, is like starting to like inspect him around, which is difficult because he's mostly clothed in his suit. As the man at the table is just grinning. What can I interest you in? As you said something to make someone taller. You said.
Yeah, would you happen to have anything for that?
B, stop bothering him. Do you have the what did you call them? The shoes, or I think maybe the cloak, right? She looks. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, over here. As she troops over to the cabinet. Yeah. Yeah. She pulls it open and pulls out a pair of what look like slippers, maybe like rubbery slippers with like a silkish sheen. These I these you can get pretty high with these shoes, because you could just walk wherever you want with them, on like a wall, or you could look. And she takes her shoes off, and she's got like little steel-toed shoes, and she puts these on, and then she just walks onto the wall as if the wall is now the floor. She's not like struggling to keep her weight, like it's like gravity's not affecting her at all towards the floor, but just to the wall. And then she continues up to the ceiling, and then she's on the ceiling. Her hair is kind of it's not like fully like hanging down, but it's enough that it's not like a gravity thing. So you could get pretty high with these, because like now I'm taller than you. Wow.
I think to myself, like, Shaelune does not like attention drawn to her, so I don't know if these are it. Because you are the only person on the ceiling I've seen so far.
Well, that's because we're in the light. But okay. She turns and she scurries back down the wall. She changes her shoes again. Everyone in the shop is like watching her, so she seems fairly self-conscious about that. She's like looks up. She's like trying to change her shoes really quick and puts them back in. This one then you less noticeable, and she pulls out a rolled cloth. So and she unrolls it, and it's like a cloak. She throws it around his shoulders. It seems sized for her. She says it seems you think it would be too small on you, but it wouldn't be. It's trust me. But this look. Well, wait. Everybody, don't look. Look over there.
Yeah, look over there.
I look over there.
Yeah, what's over there?
The other two don't. Just the corner of the store.
Oh, awesome.
And then the other two don't. They just kind of grin. And she's like, "Okay."
All right. What do we see upon turning away from the corner of the store?
Make a perception check, both of you.
19.
Okay. So it takes a few seconds for you to realize that she's just standing in the corner. It's a little bit darker in that corner, but it did take you some time. Like you should have just spotted her right away. So just you realize. So yeah, this makes it a little bit harder to see, and also if you're high up, so maybe this doesn't get you high because this gets you low. But you could hold the ends out, and it will reinforce, and you can fly So you could go up, actually. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's you could fly
Is
with
it a
this.
magical thing, or just because you're holding it?
I mean, it's a new science. You know, the artificery. So it's kind of some people say it's like a magical thing. You couldn't do this kind of thing before with the magic anyway. But you could fly with this. Um, um, uh, but not in but not like in like the day. So it has to be pretty dark. So like at nighttime or something. Uh, Mostly nighttime. Yeah. Anyway, she starts to undo it and takes it off. That's what we have for getting people taller. We have other things too, but um, one you could probably use to shoot somebody up into the sky, but I wouldn't do it. It probably it wouldn't be. They'd be hurt. They'd be hurt. Yeah. Um,
Well,
but
that's not my
You-
goal either.
Something?
Hmm?
Yeah, I don't think either of these were what you were necessarily asking for.
No, I don't think they'd help our friend all that much.
um, we yeah, no. I have uh, I have a submersible cap. That's like the opposite direction. Um, and as Lex looks over with that face, well, well, see, and she turns and she grabs a small cap um, from the and she's like puts it over her head. I see. So you just wear it. It's like a cap. It's a little bit poofy on top. Okay, a little bit poofy. That's all right. I know it's not like the style, but it. And then look, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. And she kind of like taps something, and the front, like a little visor comes down that covers over the nose, and no, you can in the water and for like a long time is just in the water all night long if you want to is then hey, and she pushes the button. So yeah, just like that, you can just swim around under the water and explore without ever having to come up for air.
As much as I'd absolutely love to hear my friend's voice exactly like that.
Well, for
I
that, all
don't
you have to
think
do is
there
make
is.
them like you can just pop your nose, and that would do the same thing. But that wouldn't let them
Oh,
stay in the water for a long time.
that's
Yeah.
fair. I don't
Yeah.
have a nose. I wouldn't know.
I thought you were saying cat at first, and I was like, why would
A
what is
submersion cat. That is an oddity.
until you said put the visor down, and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, now that makes way more sense now.
And also, you could use this if like someone held them up high on a wall, and then you could use this, and it would keep them there. And she pulls out, and it looks like one of those like gas spray nozzle things where you hold it and then you like push the end and like it'll spray out the front. She doesn't actually use it. So this has if you push this, it will launch well, it's a goo shooter. It shoots a goo and it will launch it out, and it covers a pretty wide space, and everything in there gets stuck down for a while. You could use a solvent. Eliza sells a solvent. You could um, use that to melt the goo a little bit, or if you I think if you wait like an hour, it'll kind of melt away on its own. Yeah, so it's not permanent. Yeah. So you could use that. That could hold somebody up higher if you like. No, no, okay. Well, that's. I think that's all we got right now. That's ready. We just we kind of make what we can. We just take the parts uh, that uh, um, you didn't gets finds the other people don't need sometimes from cold crest and then we just make the things and then I see what we can do with it. So it's we just make what we can as we can. Um,
How long does it take you to make these things?
oh, it depends. Depends. Submersible cap was actually kind of easy. This is like just a couple like a week, a week. Um, the shoes and the flyer, the goo shooter, it wasn't too bad. Too bad. The tube. I didn't show you the tube because we decided you didn't want to hurt your friends. It's a tube of air amplification. I combined the words air and amplification to make one word, air amplification. Um, and if you point it and you use it, it will shoot like an air blast, concentrated, and it'll just knock. It can knock people down or away, or push out gas or something. So it's like it amplifies air amplification, and
I have a quick question.
oh yes.
How much is that goo?
Goo. Well, it's not. It's not cheap. Uh, that goo. For the 10 times you could use it. It's got enough for 10. It's a we decided that 1,000 Uden. Yep, 1,000 gold.
1,000?
Yep. Magic's not cheap.
If I were to use it on someone, would it also make them stick if they didn't want to stick?
Well, I mean, if they didn't want to stick, they would have to free themselves, and it could be tough. If you were like really, really big and strong, then maybe you could push through it. But if you were not strong or you were small, then it could be tough to to move through it. Also, be careful around fire because fire will burn it away, and anything in it will probably get pretty burned by that as well. So fire and goo don't go together. That's a rule, generally.
I'm not at liberty to say what my spending agenda is for tonight, but I can say I did not intend on spending that much. So respectfully, I hope the potions might be cheaper than that. And I go back over to the potion person to see if they got that in stock.
Okay.
But your inventions are amazing. They are very interesting.
Yeah. Do you mind
Very
if
impressive.
while you're here, can I just can I take some measurements?
Give
While
you
you're here?
clothing?
No, just a few.
For what?
Just kind of see what his measurements are. He
Is that important to you?
It would be information that I would have, and I could use it to maybe know or learn other things or come up with stuff that I could make, maybe different things. Like maybe your legs. If I knew more about like how your legs are, then I could make something that could be like legs to make someone to walk on legs. But I'm not. I say I can make that right away. But it, just learning, always learning and thinking and figuring stuff out. Yeah.
Well, just like my ale, I'm always up to barter. But let me decide on what the potion price and if the potion's even in stock first. And then we'll talk about you looking at my legs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. Fine. I won't take any measurements if you don't want me to. I can appreciate that. It's always best to have people's consent when you check it. Just yeah. Okay. I I I'll be over here. And she just kind of moves and stands awkwardly to the side, just kind of staring at you wide-eyed.
And I want to double check on the potion stock, the potion of be a little taller.
Eliza
little
chuckles,
taller.
well, I do have something. 1 second here. Let me bust it up. So, I have a potion that will make a person grow. Is this for like a gnome friend of yours?
Someone much shorter than I.
Well, if it was for a gnome, it would grow that gnome to the size of, well, me or a person. If I were to drink this, I would grow to a giant size. It's only about an hour or so that it lasts. During that time, you're bigger. Ta-da!
Interesting. And how much is that?
Not cheap. This one would go for about 100 gold pieces.
Well, I'm not at liberty to say how much my spending agenda is, but that is more than I thought to spend when I walked in here. Then I turned back to the excited gnome. I'm like, so, how valuable are my legs to you?
She like looks over at Eliza and she just kind of I will trade you 1 growth potion if you allow B to get your full measurements, physical measurements, and I keep the ale.
Can I barge in here for a second?
You want a
When you say
sidebar or barge
full,
in?
I have a
Physical.
question, and then maybe, and then we can
His
sidebar.
his physical.
No. So when you say physical, do you mean external and internal measurements? Because I feel like that's worth a lot more.
I feel like you just opened up the possibility of there being internal measurements,
I wasn't sure what the measurements meant exactly.
but I think just the external. Well, what B can see without having to open anything up.
I will definitely, because I assume, Danny, I'm double check with you though, is the Nazora's core visible from the outside, or is it literally inside of me?
That's up to you.
I always thought it was visible, but just, I wear clothes. So I will definitely agree to that minus the torso. I do not want anyone prodding at my visible heart. And I will give you 10 gold to make up for it.
Eliza, make a persuasion check. Eliza kind of sits back. She looks like she's about to say no, and then you just hear this like kind of coming from behind you, and Eliza sighs. Very well, fine. And behind you, just hear, and then just immediately, like she just comes up. She's got her like tool, and she starts just walking around, and somewhere in the middle, she like actually tells you to wait a second, runs to the back, and pulls out like a step ladder so she can get on it and like do your arms and stuff. And
I'll also look, get down if need be, but
all right, while that's happening, outside.
I'm actually, so I look at Drew and I go, because at this point I'm probably talking to Drew now instead of just shadowing them, because that would be weird to just do, because they know I'm there, I'm sure. I'm like, okay, so this is what I remember of the tinctures that we should probably get so we have like ability to heal ourselves, because I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm not really big on, I don't really understand potions. I understand poultices, so I prefer poultices. So we should probably get this. I also have an idea, and I want your input on this idea because it involves you and your amazing charm and skill in being charming. We'll come back to that. Put a button in that. But yes, definitely we should get some dried herbs, at least while we're here, so we can make some poultices and things, because that's just how life is. So we should probably have that.
All right. What exactly are you? What is your idea to use me for?
Well, not use you. It's not like that. Like I'm not like we're not like. Well, I mean, okay. So my idea is that so you told me there was a whole bunch of students that like if they're not. Do you know if they're dead, or do you know if like students went to hospital from the attack, like at the university?
I don't know, actually.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Okay, so here's why I ask. So my big concern is one, if those dead students will come back to life via dedomancy, because and you can't say it hasn't happened. It's happened before. Two, for the ones that are not not dead, if they're like in a hospital in the city, I would love to hear from them what exactly they saw. And so to garner that information of the students, both living and dead, hopefully all living and hopefully none resurrected in with dedomancy, we need to like either like pose janitors or have you like charm an admin person so I can break in, or have you break in and I charm an admin person to get like a list of students so that we like know who we're looking for so that we can like do the detective work. I'm just spitballing, guy. Do you have a lot of charm? So I'm thinking like charm would be a good thing for you to do, but if you like want to break and enter with me, I'm cool with that. Just not everyone likes to do that, and like I want to like respect your life choices.
I appreciate that. Why don't we start with the charm, and if that doesn't work, then we can discuss breaking in.
Because we also need to figure out who to charm. Because I wasn't there, so I haven't winked at anyone yet. Maybe I'll just wink at someone and they'll give me the information. That did happen once. I haven't been able to replicate that. I'm working on. Yeah, but that's my thought. Is that I would like to be proactive, and if students are going to come at me via dedomancy and I can't like stab them right away, I'd like to know beforehand so I can like mentally prepare myself. Because it's something that like the smell lives in your nose and then it lives behind your eyeballs when you close your eyes. So it's just something to be aware of.
Well, I mean, we could maybe ask Nugata if he knows where any injured people were taken and go from there.
Yes, that would be.
Unless
If
you
I
don't want to involve him.
I mean, it's less. Do I want to involve him? It's more like, are we? No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to put any. I don't want to put any like that on the universe. I guess we can ask. We can just ask generally, like, where would people go if there was a hospital here? There's probably a way to find that out. But like, yeah, we can workshop that. That's something to think through. That's probably a better idea than just me breaking and entering into places. Although I do like breaking and entering. Like, it's kind of fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's a nice hobby.
Well, I mean, there's still a chance we might have to do that.
Here's hoping.
As you are speaking, both of you give me a perception check, disadvantage from each of you.
My perception is already so low. Poor decay. All right, let's see. I got a 15 either way.
As you are talking about this, you can't help but to notice, and both of you notice this, that there are men who have they have positioned themselves around you. You didn't notice that they were positioning themselves until after they like start kind of closing in. You see that they are kind of moving to encircle you. There's about 5 of them as you've kind of been walking and talking, and it looks like they're trying to kind of like get to where they could surround you, the two of you.
Do I recognize any of them?
No.
Do I recognize any of them?
No.
Are they wearing any armbands or like semi-visible like neck tattoos? Anyone have like a bad prison tattoo or something going on?
Nope. They're just guys, and it's the standard sort of clothing of the style, hats. One of them has a tie. Most of them just have button shirts with no tie, and
fancy
jackets. I mean, not to say that the guy with the tie is like really nice, like impeccable. He's similar. It's just like they could have ties, they could not have ties, sort of thing.
Yeah.
As they're closing around you.
I'm gonna kind of make eye contact with Panabon to make sure that Panabon is seeing what I'm seeing, and then I'm going to, as nonchalant as I can, kind of poke my head into the magic shop where Rogelio and Lex are, and say, I think it's time that we're going now.
Are we mid measurements?
Are they done with the measurements?
This is happening as like the measurements are starting, and as but other than that, yeah, you can.
Well, with no sense of urgency, I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, we'll be out in just a moment." And I kind of looked at the gnome person. And I'm like, "How long do measurements take?"
Oh, just a few minutes. Yeah,
Lex?
should be fine.
So what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to not unceremoniously, I don't know how else to do this as an action, so I'm just going to ask for apologies from you, Isabeth. I'm basically going to like, I know I'm not the strongest character, but you kind of position yourself so I can just kind of subtly like move you into the room, and then I at the same time I'm going to try to do the thing where I'm Cochrane for half a second, so it looks like Panabon's still there, but it's actually just Cochrane, so that I can close the door behind me, but leave. Does that make sense?
And then are you then going to? And then is Cochrane going to move away? Is your double going to move away or something? Like lead them away, or just be at the door?
Just be at the door and be not a meat version of Panabon, but something that can be like just when you try to hit Cochrane, it's not like a right? Does it make sense? I don't know if it makes
No,
sense.
I
even in my
understand.
game
I just was asking if you were leaving them at the door, if you were like they're gonna try to lead them away. So okay.
Oh, no, just leaving them at the door. They obviously want something, but it's also just like they were really bad at it. Oh, now I'm intrigued. And before I stab, I want some information. Like, is this run of the mill? Am I being punked? Is it just like a thing? Like, what is it?
So with that, you get Isabit's, unless you want to contest, you are pushed into the store, followed by Panabon.
No, I'll let it happen. Yeah, I'm assuming he knows what he's or what they're doing, so I will go along with whatever they're doing.
I will also say that you have not seen me do this, so you don't actually know that there can be two Panabons yet. So, however you would feel about that knowledge, because you're going to see that before the door closes, that there's suddenly two Panabons, one on either side of the door.
All right. As you enter, everyone's kind of looking in your direction now, except for B, who is laser focused on what she is doing. And the men outside, for those of you who are aware of them, you can see them actually kind of take several steps quickly towards the door and then resume their sort of meaningful walk as they move towards the door. And we will pick up what happens next week when we come back for another session of Like Clockwork. Thanks everybody for joining us. I know we started a little bit late, and thanks again to those folks who are playing. And yeah, we'll see everybody again next week, Like Clockwork.
Bye, everyone.